and your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer, an explorer, going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind talking about Justin Bieber.
Hello. Hello out there. Heckin' A, we're on the air. Heckin' A, we're on the air. And it might be the greatest day in human history today. We got Arnie here everywhere. Arnito. Arnito is in the house today. There he is. Arnito himself, the White Wolf of Manitoba, the Manitoba White Wolf. Okay, today's show is titled "Nothing Can Stop What's Coming." Not just a catchphrase, but it is a pretty good catchphrase too. A couple things before we get any further into the show today. Number one. Oh shit, this isn't good. We got a low bat on the laptop and on the phone. Oh boy, we're gonna have to manage this carefully. We're gonna have to monitor the situation closely. And we're really choppy. No, actually, that was just me going slow, but it seems kind of choppy. How's it sound? I know my voice is a little effed up today. No, it's okay. Mic's working. As BTC Backpacker would say, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Okay, that's live. I think Backpacker came up with that phrase. Just like I came up with hello out there, we're on the air. I didn't actually come up with it. That's a tribute to our guy Stompin' Tom Connors. But you kind of make it your own, just like Backpacker did. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Or hello out there. And then you have a little bit of a pause there. We're on the air. 88 Sats Radio, formerly known as 88 Sats Radio, now known as 88 Sats. But the radio just might come back one day. We'll see. The radio just might return. Okay, I got to do one thing here quick. A couple shout outs. And actually, this inspired me to talk about something today, these zaps. We had 2 zaps come through the airways for Fat Zap Friday to start things off the right way. The right way. And Zapstream's still not working. For duck's sakes. But that's not going to stop you. If you want to send some love through the airwaves, you can send it to jor@rizful.com. And let's check out our early morning zaps, our pregame zaps. Oh, we got a couple of them here. Okay, so number one, I want to say a big thank you to Letha. Letha the icon, we call her. The iconic Letha. She sent in a triple shot of espresso today. Triple shot of espresso. She said, happy Fat Zap Friday, Jor. I hope you have a great weekend. Letha. So thank you, Letha. God bless. God bless Letha. Ooh, I can't wait to crack this one today. I need this. I need this one right now. Bad. It was a late night. It was a late night and an early morning. But I promised you guys I'd be here. I promised you guys I'd be here. And I'm not a man to break my promise. Okay, show number 34 today. 34 today. And we got Letha with a triple shot, which we desperately need right now. Is there 2 S's in espresso? No, there's only 1. Well, there's 3. Espresso. There's not 2 S's right off the hop, though. Yikes. Is that right? No. Letha, triple espresso. I don't think there's 2 S's there. I think there's only 1 S. You know, I've spelled espresso so many freaking times, and I still don't know what the right way is. But that wasn't the only triple shot that came through the airwaves today. And this just goes to show how much I love the people of this community here, because we got a pretty big day here, historic day. And I decided to put that on the back burner for to give props to my friends and my family here. Okay, so we got another triple shot of espresso. It says 3 shots to start the week. No meetings this morning, so I can catch the live show. And it was actually a little bit more than a triple shot, which means it was from Mark. Mark, Bob, Stewie, the boys. 1 shot for each of them. So thank you, Mark. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Stewie. Big shout out to Mark. Gets to watch the whole show today. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is. Not good or bad, it just is. You know what I mean? And then we got a couple more here I see that are new. We got a couple more here I see that are fresh. Some fresh sats. Man, I got so many frickin'... No, I'm not going to say it. Got to be careful. Got a little bit of a fuzzy head this morning. I got to be careful how I speak, what I say, you know? Somebody sent in 7. That's got to be Jenny. 7K. No message attached to it. 7K. I don't know who that was. I would either guess Maria 7K, but she usually leaves a message, or Jenny, or somebody random. I don't know. So claim that one if you want to. We got a 2,420. That's got to be our guy, David T. So I'm going to assume that's David T. Thank you, David T. We got one from... What? We got one from Jenny. Jenny Legendary. Hands off my sats. You know her. You know her. She says, happy Friday. Quit starving the dang ducks. Duck and A, Jenny. Thank you. Duck and A. We're gonna call that one a double shot of espresso with what's your favorite topper on coffees, Jenny? You get to choose. Same with Mark. If you guys have any certain ingredients that you put in your coffee, I'll mix that into it. How's about that? We got 40 here for show 40, but I thought that this was show 34. Sats and sunsets. Where's the disconnect there? Is it 40 or is it 34? I feel like we're not even close. So let me know. Sound off in the comments. Sats and sunsets. Are we show 40 or are we show 34? Because I got 34 on my record books, on my ledger. And looks like we got one from Jake. 333. Great number in honor of Larry Bird the Hick. And this is Jake's creation right here. What a beautiful frickin' hat. Huh. 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 Hard to have a bad day in this hat. Hard to have a bad day in this hat with this weather. It is frickin' hot here, folks. Look at that. We got some trees. The leaves are budding. Leaves are budding heavily. Man, the last like 4 days here went from 0 leaves to like a full forest. So spring has sprung. Spring's been sprung. We completely skipped. No, actually, summer's been sprung. We skipped spring. I went from wearing a toque and a hoodie and a jacket to no shirt. And I'll tell you, you guys just saw that view there. I will tell you one thing. I woke up today fuzzy. And I probably didn't get to, I didn't get home till like 12:30 last night. It was a late one. We finished the round early. So I went to have some wings after, have a beer. And so I got home pretty late. So I was probably in bed after 1 a.m. And then I was up, I slept in a little bit today, but we're still up before 7. So it's, but what I did, couple things always cure a tired. I actually walked outside, and that's why I said you guys saw the view there. I was debating, should I spend some time preparing for the show today, or should I just go outside and sit in the sunshine? And I went for option B today. But actually, we have more than enough things to talk about today, so it worked out perfectly. But I went outside, Gitch only. Can't do that too many places on this planet anymore. But walked outside like a caveman and just let the sun heal me. And then I went and had a cold shower. And now I'm here with some espresso from my friends. That's good, but it's frickin' hot. I have no idea why I put a hoodie on today. I just habit, I guess. I just kind of look at the closet and choose one, and then went with the wrong choice today. I might have to have a wardrobe change halfway through the show today. What do they call that? Different outfits? What is it called when you change your outfits, like halfway through a party or something? What's the term for that? There's like a fancy term now that people say. Doesn't matter. Okay, let me go here. Bingo, bango, bongo. I should check on Rumble though, because I always miss a lot of things on Rumble. We had a good freaking crowd in there today. There's 35 people in there before the show even started today. 35 people. I mean, it sounds like a lot compared to where we've been, where there's like 3 people over there for a while. But I mean, 35 people out of 8 billion. Talking about the most interesting freaking subject, arguably in human history. MIPO, in my personal opinion. Oh, I don't have the right freaking thumbnail on there. Oh, well. Okay, what did I miss here? We got Jenny. Jenny gifted 1 subscription, 1 membership over in Rumble. I don't want to miss anything over there today. So here's Jenny already got it. I was going to say, is Jenny going to get another Satoshi hat trick today? And she answered that question before I could even ask it. So Jenny with the zap, the double. We got Jenny with the Membi. We got Jenny with the Fiat zap. She said $2 or sent $2 and said quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. So $2. Jenny is the first to complete the Satoshi hat trick. I thought of doing a little animation for that last night and actually playing Stompin' Tom in it. I think that'd be fun. If anybody could do that, that would be huge for the channel. If anybody could figure out how to a way to do like a 6-second clip or like a 10-second clip of like somebody scoring and then another person scoring and then that same person fighting, but it's like Satoshi. It doesn't really have to be Satoshi because we don't know what Satoshi looks like, but just somebody that would resemble Satoshi. And if you could just give me that video, like I could add the audio to it, but I could probably figure it out. I just feel like there's smarter people out there than me in that realm. But this is the song that I would play with it, which is Stompin' Tom. Listen to this one. I'll probably get the video banned for this, but whatever. We'll listen to like 5 seconds of it. Okay, ready? This is where the intro from the show comes from. Ready?
Hello out there, we're on the air. It's hockey night tonight.
Love that. So I'd want to have like a hockey clip with a goal, another goal, a guy setting up a goal, and then a fight. And then a big font that says Satoshi hat trick. Because they're pretty rare. That's what, same as Gordie Howe hat tricks. They're rare. That's why they were celebrated. A goal, an assist, and a fight. And so that'd be fun. If anyone's looking for something to do this weekend. Oh, yeah, let's get some comments here. Let's get some comments. I see a lot, and I'm going to have to buzz through them here today. I'm sorry, but we're going to buzz through these. Ginger's here. Good morning, Ginger. There's Mark right there, 6'5 sats. Ginger first in the chat today. We got our guy, 21 hats, Jake. Praetorian, 91. The Guardian is here. Sats and Sunsets, the man, the Smith, the legend that is Sats and Sunsets. What could this possibly be about? Oh, right. Bitcoin. John Beach with a nice axe as a profile picture. I don't know if that's a serial killer move or a beauty move. Too soon to say. Oh, I missed one here to Arnie. Look at this. Moravian. Moravian, I'm sorry, man. I know that you love the Zap streams, and I'm trying. I actually messaged the grinder again yesterday, but haven't heard back. But Moravian with a double shot of espresso today. He said, double shot of espresso from Moravian watching on YouTube. Thank you, man. Thank you. That was to Arnie Boy. Arnie Boy got her. So thank you, Moravian. Listen, Lori's here. Good morning with a nice 4-leaf clover there. We got VHF in the house. We got Jenny says, yo, is this the right place to find a thumbs down, a Fed, a Canadian Democrat, and a bunch of starving ducks? Thumbs down, a Fed, a Canadian Democrat, and a bunch of starving ducks. I would say a thumbs up, a bunch of Bitcoiners, 0 Democrats to be seen, and a bunch of well-fed, fat, plump ducks waiting to be shot and fed to Arnie. Sketchucation's here. Rich, good morning, my friend. Scotty boy, is this the right place for people without any Bitcoin? Yeah, none of us have any Bitcoin. If anybody's asking, we don't have any Bitcoins. Stalsrow, the best name in there. Robert is here. Says, good morning, everyone. TJF. Amen to that. Matt FRL, the author of Simple Bitcoin Savings. You can search this very easily on Amazon. I don't have an affiliate link or anything. It's just a highly recommended book. Highly recommended book here from our guy, Matt FRL. A North American primer for beginners written by Matt. Simple Bitcoin Savings. Peter says, government doesn't want you to know this, but ducks are free. You can just take them. It's good advice. That's good advice. You got to catch them, though, or shoot them. It'd be hard to catch a duck. Arnie tries all the time. There's a lot of ducks around here. It's like a duck sanctuary out here. Imagine if you started a stream and there were no ducks. Yeah, that's scary to think about. Duck, yeah. Duck, yeah. Sharon B in the house. Paulie D, head voice, says 888 for Arnie from Daisy. There it is. Thank you, Paulie. Thank you, Daisy. Happy Friday to our friends in Liberal, Ontario. Missing Josh, though, man. Missing Josh. Josh, if you're listening to this later, cheers to you, buddy. Hope the new job is going well. I had to hear that secondhand information from Jerry's stream. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that. Not that he has a job now or that he can't be at the stream, but that I didn't know that. I had to find out secondhand. But we love Josh. I love Josh. The king, we call him. The king. One of the most consistent and biggest supporters of this channel. God bless. Hope you're doing well, Josh. And Sharon B here. Sharon B is in the house. Look at this. Sharon B. I mentioned at the top of the show, but we got some orange today. Kind of like some, it tastes like Sunny D without all the sugar. And I love me some Sunny D. I love me some Sunny D. We got a rowdy crew of rednecks in Rumble today. Haven't seen too many whites over there. Haven't seen too many whites. Oh, look at that. We got another Memby from Robert. Robert gifted 1 subscription to 88 sats, and it doesn't look like it's been claimed yet. So if you're watching this on Rumble, we got 50 people watching on Rumble right now. Leave a comment. You're going to get a free membership from Robert today. And turn into a redneck. Okay, I gotta get off my phone here and plug in the computer. I don't want the stream to die. Won't be a big deal if my freaking phone dies, but if the Loppy dies, we're hooped. We're hooped. Andre is here. Andre. Is that Andre or Andre? I don't know. LITF Bailey. Duncan says, morning rumblings. Good morning, Duncan. I'm freaking hotter than Africa right now. I'm hotter than what? Let me ask you this. You know the old expression, it's hotter than blank. What's the best one you've ever heard? I've heard a couple good ones, not some that I can't say on here. But one of my favorite ones that I heard is it's hot. I don't even know if I should say that. Duck it. It's Friday. I heard somebody once say it's hotter than the devil's dick. We'll go with this. It's hotter than the devil's duck. We can basically swap ducking with anything now. It's very versatile. Very versatile. I feel like the title will trigger some bears. Yeah, that's okay. We love triggering the bears. One of our activity or our hobbies, I should say. Buck 52 is here. Good morning, Buck 52. You never got those sats through yesterday, eh? You son of a gun. Tried. It's a good effort. J-Dog's here, says, good day, crew. Good morning, J-Dog. Good to see you, man. Great to see you today. No bot is going to break this castle. Attaboy, sats and sunsets. The next 6 months are going to be very impactful. Buckle up. I mean, that's always the case. VHF, always the next freaking 6 months. Although, we could all be dead in 6 months. So, don't spend too much time there. Don't spend too much time thinking about the future. Enjoy what you got right in front of you. Because the only thing that we have, truly, the only thing that we have is this exact moment. And I'm happy we get to spend it together on a Friday, on a beautiful Friday. Sean says, duck Bitcoin. Moro says, Umbro been adding great privacy apps like, oh, I thought that said Arnie exposed. Just thinking, wow, somebody got some paparazzi shots of Arnie peeing or something. Actually. Oh, man, I absolutely love Fridays, man. I love Fridays. And it's not because it's the end of the week, because, like, it's just everybody's in such a good freaking mood. Just the vibes are good. I was out in the yard with Arnie the other night, and it was a really nice photo. But he was peeing. So this is what I thought the photo that got leaked of. He's got a freaking stick in his mouth too. Oh my, that might be my favorite picture of Arnie, actually. So I thought Arnie was exposed, but I guess it's Amy exposed. Privacy apps like Amy Exposed giving you UTXO ratings and what chain analysis know about your transactions. Wow, really? Oh, sorry. Okay. That says, am I exposed? Am I exposed? Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense. First, I thought it was Arnie exposed, and then I thought it was Amy exposed, but it turns out it's am I exposed? Good info there. And Moro, I'm pretty sure, I don't know for sure, but like, I'm assuming if Umbro has these things being built, I'm guessing Start9 or somebody within the Start9 community will probably figure out a way to put it on Start9. I would guess. There was actually something else that came out on Umbro the other day too that I saw. What was it? I don't know. Kev's here, 21 South Street. Good morning, Kev. And you got a membership from Jenny. Oh, it was Maria. I thought that was Maria. You usually leave a message, though, Maria. You usually leave a message with it, but I didn't see it today. But I still figured it was you. Maria 7K today. Thank you, Maria. Okay, so that I got a little topic and idea I want to talk about today. But man, I'm gonna just have to. Magellan is way cooler than Justin Bieber. That's for sure. Kachok says, "What's up, fellow rednecks? What's up, Kachok? Good to see you, my friend." Locks Guy's here. Says, "Yo, Jor. Good morning, Pastor Jor. Good morning. Good morning, Locks Guy. Good to see you, my friend. Really good to see you." Lapu was not a wild native. He was protecting his people from invasion, from invasive culture of Magellan. I don't know who Lapu is. Is that a real name? Lapu was not a wild native. He was protecting his people from invasive culture of Magellan. Odino says, "I'm going to start stacking some Dogecoin." You'd probably do all right. What'd you shoot yesterday? Robert says, "Actually, we had a good round. We won again yesterday. We're currently 2-1. We should be 3-0. We let the first one slide through our fingers, blew it on the last couple holes, but we pulled her through last night. So I don't know what I was, because the course is really wet right now. And there's a lot of water on like 4 holes on the front nine. So they actually just shorten them all. So you actually don't hit the drive. You just go to like the 120 yard marker. One of them was like 170 yards. So you played like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as par 3s, although 2 of them are already par 3s. So there's 3 extra par 3s in there, which one would have been a par 5, 2 of them would have been a par 4, but they had to be shortened because it's so wet on the course right now. But I think I was 6 over. So 6 over with the par 3 courses would have been like a 73, I think. 70, I think a 73. So it was all right. I kind of buggered around on the back nine a little bit. I was kind of hungry and I had a couple beers. So I was, my mind wasn't sharp, I guess you'd say. And I had 2 double bogeys on the back nine, but I think we had 3 birdies, and the rest pretty much were pars, other than I think a bogey on the first hole. But anyways, that's what it was. I know that was a long freaking story for you're probably just looking for a number, but I had to, because if I would have said I shot 73, it's not really accurate. Matt FRL says, perhaps considering swapping the intro back to Agent 99's Anthem Visionaries. Perhaps consider swapping the intro back to Agent 99's Anthem Visionaries. Instead of what the hell is his name? Alex Jones? I love that intro, man. I love Scotty's song too. I wish I could find a way to maybe I'll start playing Visionary song at the end of the show. I would have a hard time replacing that Alex Jones intro. I love it. I absolutely love that intro. It gets me fired up. It gets me fired up. I'd be like tearing up if I was watching the Visionaries song. That song makes me emotional, man. The Visionary song makes me emotional. Look at this, BitBilly, the MOB, and this is something we got to talk about today. I don't know what we're going to do with this, because I'm actually going to put that up here right frickin' now. We got our banner from BitBilly today after his behemoth zap yesterday. After his behemoth zap. Okay, so here it is. This is the debut. This is the first time we've done this. So this is kind of historic in some ways. If you're a historian of the 88 Sats channel. Anybody? Okay, BitBilly. What did he had a good message here for you guys. You guys are going to enjoy this. BitBilly. Okay, so he says, I'll type it first and then I'll read it. Great message. So again, this is something we're going to start doing here for the biggest. No, I don't know if we're going to do this every day though. I don't know if we can do this every day. It might be once per week. I feel like once per week is better. I might take the biggest zap of the week and they get to decide what goes on the ticker there. So this is what BitBilly had to say. I might need a freaking wardrobe change here right away. Oh, he spells it like an American. I guess I should spell it like an American here. Okay. There we go. So here it is. This is BitBilly's message for the biggest zap yesterday. That was a contest, and I think we're going to do this going forward. I really like this idea because you could use this. You could use this ticker however you want to. There's thousands of people that watch the show every day, thousands of Bitcoiners. So if you have something that you want to promote or a message you want to get across to Bitcoiners, this would be the perfect freaking place for it. So we're going to do that. Makes a lot of sense to me. And very easy to do too. Very easy to implement and track and everything like that, because we're already tracking the stuff. So it's a no extra work at all, which those are my kind of things because we got enough stuff going on here. But so here it is. Stay disciplined, stay sovereign, and love your neighbor till it hurts. From BitBilly. MOB number 1, the very first one. So big shout out to our guy BitBilly for a very generous zap yesterday, and he earned himself the MOB, the most outstanding Bitcoiner, and he gets his message across here. So you could say whatever the heck you want on here. If somebody wanted to spam this, they could say F Jor or F Jor and Arnie. F Jor and Arnie, lucky is the best, something like that. You could say whatever you want. I have to put it up here. That's the rules. So this is the first one. BitBilly didn't choose violence today. He chose love. So I respect that. He says, stay disciplined, stay sovereign, and love your neighbor till it hurts. And if I know BitBilly, he doesn't mean like the physical neighbor. He doesn't mean like the physical neighbor that lives beside your house. He means every single person that you come in contact with today. That is your neighbor. And if everybody lived that way, there's a famous guy, one of the most famous guys to ever live. He had something like that. He had 2 main things. He said, be kind and love thy neighbor. And his name, of course, was Jesus Christ. So big shout out to BitBilly. Great message and great supporter of the show. Cheers, my friend. So I'm going to leave that up for a while. I'll probably swap it back and forth between a couple of them, but we'll leave that one up there for a while. You know, perfect timing for this. Perfect timing for this because today is a historic day in a lot of ways. It is Friday, May 28th, and there was a brand new album that came out today. And it's from our guy, Kip Moore. And you see the name of that song? You see the name of that song there? Reason to Believe. That's what the album is called. And that's what the show is actually a tribute of. Because Kip Moore has had a massive impact on my life. And so I wanted to pay a tribute to him by naming the show Reason to Believe, because that's what it is. That's what the show is all about. It's very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day bullshit and be black-pilled and look at different things and basically set your lens to a very dark lens. It's easy to do. It's the easiest thing you can do. You know why? Because everywhere you look, there's people giving you bad news. Everywhere. Bad news that has no impact on you at all. But that's the lens that a lot of people see their world through. And so what this show tries to do is give people reason to believe in the future, reason to be hopeful. And I'm going to tell you one thing. If we didn't have Bitcoin, if I'd never studied Bitcoin and spent thousands of hours figuring out what this thing is, I would be very, very black-pilled myself. And Arnie shows up too. So I had some time last night on the way home from golf, and I actually listened to the whole album. It came out at 11 p.m. I think it was midnight Eastern time. It came out at 11, and the majority of my drive home, you know, I live in the sticks, so I only get service for about half the ride. So I was waiting and waiting and waiting for service to come in so I could download the album. And then I came in, and I shit you not, it was about 43 minutes ish. And I started listening to it, and I listened to every song, and the last song ended as I pulled in the driveway. I swear to God. I didn't listen to the 2 songs though. There was Faith in the Wind and Levy, which I'd heard before, so I skipped past those ones. But every other song I listened to, and the last song ended as I was in the driveway. And if you are somebody who is going to be listening to this album and you don't want to hear my opinion on it, then I would encourage you to turn it down for a second, because then you don't have to be influenced by what I think. But I would encourage everybody out here. Kip Moore is kind of a country guy, but I'd say he's more of like a rock guy. And I think this is my favorite song on the album. It's called Lonely Tonight. And it sounds very much to me like a Meatloaf song. It sounds very much like a Meatloaf song. So if you're a fan of Meatloaf, I don't know, check this one out. Let me know what you think about it. It really reminds me of like a Meatloaf kind of ballad. So I think he gets a lot of his inspiration from like rock and roll artists, some like Motown, like blues kind of, and it's a really interesting sound. And I just absolutely love his voice too, and love him as a human being. So I wanted to give a big tribute to Kip Moore today, because he's had a massive impact on my life. I would say right up there with top three, maybe even top 1. So the album is called Reason to Believe. And if you like that, the cool thing about Kip is he doesn't really make an album that sounds like his last album. He really reinvents himself for every album, and it's really interesting to me. And so check it out. If you like that, go back and listen to some of his old stuff. It's all very unique. And so he kind of started off very country, like he was signed by a country label. And they wanted him to sing certain songs that he didn't necessarily want to sing. And so I think at some point early in his career, he kind of separated himself from the record labels, the music industry, and he kind of took his own path. And man, he's got some very loyal fans and friends around the world. And you never hear him playing on like the mainstream radios or anything like that. But every show you go to of his, it's packed. Everybody knows every single word, and he just has such amazing energy. And so I think you'll like it. Even if you're not a country music person, if you like rock music, like kind of old school rock, check out Kip Moore. And big shout out to him. I'd love to have him. I'd love to have him on the show one time to talk. I'd love to go for a beer with him, and I'd love to play around a golf with him, because he's a golfer. His dad ran a golf course when he was a kid. But this song frickin' bangs. It's a very unique album. It was much different than I thought it was going to be. But such a unique sound. I don't even know what you compare it to. So check that one out. Let me know if you agree. Does that song sound like it was kind of inspired by Meatloaf? I know there's a lot of Meatloaf fans in here. Not the food, the band, the singer. Jenny says, well, I'd need to leave Alaska and make it to Oklahoma if the radio is going to make a comeback. Is it stuck there? My God, really? There's Robert given membership. Did anybody get it yet? I guess we'll see as we go down the list here. Drink your water. We got her. Does Arnie accept Dogecoin? Yeah, he would. If you wanted to send Arnie some Dogecoin, he would take it. He doesn't discriminate. He's a Bitcoiner through and through. He doesn't have any shitcoins, but he would take Dogecoin. If you wanted to send some, absolutely. I'll even get you the QR code up on screen here. I think I have an Exodus wallet on this laptop. So if you're serious, let me know. Midwest Picker says, good morning. Midwest Picker, been seeing that name in the chat. Love to see that. Good morning, Midwest Picker. I think he's a friend and a fan of Brandon, my brother Brandon. Brandon and I see the world very similarly. Very similarly. Lauren's here. He says, I made it. Sorry I'm late. Coffee in hand. No worries, my friend. No worries at all. David T, there he is right there. Lori says, best hat I've seen you wear. Wow. What do you think about that, Jake? Yeah, I was thinking this too, actually. As soon as I said that, I was going to say, new tagline, hard to have a bad day in this hat. It's 35. You're right. We were both wrong. Huh. It is 35. I just put 33 at the top of last one, but I didn't put 34 on the bottom thing that I had. So it is 34. It is 35. Is it 34, 40? No, it's 35. 35. I don't think chat knows what Gitch only means, bud. No? Nobody knows what Gitch only means? Is that a Canadian thing or what? Wardrobe change. That's not what I was looking for, Scotty, but maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Who knows? Adam's here. Lori's here. Sweating, smiling together. Good morning. That song is ultra nostalgic. No doubt. No doubt. Yuri, who's a member of the channel. I was gonna say something here, but member of the channel says crypto spring is here. Bitcoin spring is here. Bitcoin. No crypto. That's a swear word around here, my friend. But anyways, welcome to the channel. And thanks for the support. I don't know if somebody bought you that memby or if you got it, but either way, we love to have you here. Beans21 says, TGIF, amen to that. And Lauren said, Jerry. I didn't see Jerry here. Jerry must have did something over on Rumble. Yeah, he did. JLF, Jerry loves freedom, the man himself. Jerry Legendary. The mayor of Las Vegas, Nevada. The mayor of Las Vegas, Nevada. The shit disturber. Loves riling up Democrats on the streets. One of my favorite peoples, Jerry. Good morning, Jerry. Good to see you, man. Thanks for the support. We got 56 people on Rumble. Oh, nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing can stop what's coming. Not even YouTube. Not even YouTube. And look at that. Jerry sent $5 and got a membership from Robert. There it is. So it has been redeemed. Thank you, Robert. And congratulations, Jerry. Oh, $1.52, man. I heard this last night on the golf course and I actually couldn't believe it because I don't watch like a lot of the hockey. I usually have it on the background, but I did watch as soon as they announced Claude Lemieux was carrying the torch out. I ran into the living room to see it. And I just heard yesterday that he passed away. So that was game 3. So that would have been on Monday. He carried the torch for the Montreal Canadiens game to start the game. And he died yesterday. Like what? I don't know, man. And, I was actually that was another thing that I wanted to talk about today. Because, I know for a fact that if I asked, why are you here? If I ask that question to you right now, why are you here? Not necessarily watching this stream right now, but why are you in Bitcoin? It's kind of silly. It's a Ponzi scheme. That's all I hear about. It's Epstein coin. Every time I look anywhere online, it's Epstein coin. It's it hasn't moved in 4 years. And I guarantee you that, like, if you thought about that and you honestly think about that for a second, I want you to take a second here and really think about this, because I really don't think that many people do. But like, why are you here? Why are you in Bitcoin? What are you doing this whole thing for? I mean, some people like showing up here for the shits and gigs, to hang out and interact with other people who see the world the same way that they do. But like, why are you here? Why are you taking so much of your precious time and contributing to Bitcoin? Why? And I would guess that probably at least 90% of people would answer, I'm doing it for my kids. I want my kids to have a better future. I want my kids to have what I didn't have. I want my kids to have a different experience than I had. I guarantee you, most Bitcoiners, 90%, 80 to 90% of Bitcoiners would say that. And it's very noble. Bitcoiners, one of the main characteristics of a Bitcoiner, if you could have like an image of a Bitcoiner and then like a description of what that person is, I think we're mostly the same in terms of like INTJ, I think it is. INTJ, like we're all kind of the same personality types for the most part. There's obviously outliers there, but the average is. But Bitcoiners are also very unselfish people. And so I want you to think on two things here. I want you to think on two things. And actually, I'm going to tie this into the next part here, actually. I'm going to tie this into the next part that I wanted to mention. But I want you to realize that your kids, if that's what your answer was, that I want my kids to have a better future than I had. I'm doing it for them. I want you to realize that they're only going to need about 1/100th of what you think that they're going to need. 1/100th. So point is that you should live a little bit. You should enjoy heaven here on earth. You should use some of your sats if you want to. If there's something that you wanted to do, because when you, at some point in your life is going to flash before your eyes. That could be in a hospital bed. That could be on the side of the road. Could be in the middle of the ocean. Could be anywhere. Could be in your own house. One moment, sometime it's going to happen to everybody here. Nobody's safe from this. But your whole life is going to flash before your eyes. And I want you to think about if that happened right now, what is the number one thing that you would regret? What is the number one thing that you would regret in that moment? It's probably something that you didn't do. It's probably something that you haven't done yet. And so I'm just going to say it here. Like, life is very short. Life is very fragile. Life is very unexpected. And so there's a lot of things to that. Like, we talk about the Bitcoin security implication part of that all the time, the inheritance side of that all the time here. But it's more than that too. It's that life could be over any day for us, any day. And so I want you to realize how precious time is, and to really think deeply on like what that thing is that you would regret if you were at the end of it. What would you regret? And I want you to do that, even if you have to spend some of your Bitcoin. You should never live in like a scarcity mindset of like, I want to get more SaaS before I do that. Fuck that. Just do it, because we have no idea. I know that there's life expectancies, right? And I think that that's one of the biggest psyops we've ever been told, because then it allows people to procrastinate. Life expectancy allows people to put things off because they assume that they're going to be around at some point in the future to do that thing. But nobody knows anything. Could be over today for one of us. So I want you to do that. I want you to think deeply on what that one thing is that you would regret. And I want you to do that, even if you have to spend some of your Bitcoin. Because again, the people that you're doing this for aren't going to need nearly as much as you think that they're going to. So that's the first part. Second part of it here is that as I saw some donations rolling in today, some love coming through the frequencies, sats, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And so it made me think of inheritance, because I know myself personally. When I'm older, when I got kids, I don't want to, like, obviously I want to teach my kids the value of hard work and creating value. I want to do that. But I also don't want them to like hope for me to like pass away so then they can inherit my Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like farmers go through this. There's actually that song MacArthur where it talks about that. I forget the exact lyrics. I'll find it here quickly. But it was I think that there's a better way to do it. And you know, the idea that I had, and I might actually do like a full video on this because I think that there's actually something here, or I'll do a full episode on this in the digital homestead course. That's probably what I'll do because this is a really good idea, I think. And I'm going to share with you guys who are here today. So what I'm getting at is like, instead of waiting for you to die so that your kids can enjoy what you've built, why not just give it to them slowly while you're still here? You know what I mean? And so I thought of this idea where, like, let's say that you're the Bitcoiner, you're the dad, or you're the mom in the family, and you got a couple kids, and you introduce them to Bitcoin, and they're kind of excited for it. I think that what you should be doing is, instead of, again, waiting for your inheritance to build up and then pass down to them when you die, I think you should slowly start distributing that over time. Once a week, maybe. Every Sunday or every Tuesday or every certain day of the week, whatever their favorite day is or least favorite day. And then you could literally just send them sats via Lightning. And the reason I like that is because you could leave a nice little note with it too. You know what I mean? Like if my dad wanted to send me money right now through the banking system or give me cash, like there's nothing there. But you could actually send sats to your children, and you could leave a nice little note, like Letha did, like Mark did. You could leave them a nice little note every week. And so that's just kind of like a way to very slowly pass down your wealth while you're still here. And, you know, if you've taught them properly about the value of Bitcoin, they're probably not going to spend that. They're probably going to learn how to protect it. And then you're going to be in a much better situation if something were to happen to you. Like, I think it's fucking brilliant, to be honest with you. And I mean, I'm biased because I came up with this idea. But the other part of that too, the other really interesting thing about that is, like, if you did it slowly over time like that, like once a week or once every couple of days, whatever that is, you're going to be keeping things very much under the radar. And so you got your KYC Bitcoin, your stack. Every month, maybe you send a portion of it to Aqua, Bull Bitcoin, swap it to Liquid. It's very low amounts, if you know what I'm saying. And then you send it to them. Nobody knows that they have those sats. I don't know. It could just be my Friday brain, my Friday energy right now. But I think that's one of the most brilliant plans I've ever heard in Bitcoin. Again, not to toot my own freaking horn here, but I think that that's a really, really solid idea. So the lyrics to that song here, it basically talks about 4 generations. So there's John MacArthur, there's Junior MacArthur, there's Jones MacArthur, and there's Hunter MacArthur. 4 generations of MacArthurs. That's what this song's about. It has Eric Church, Tim McGraw, Hardy, and Morgan Wallen. Those are the 4 generations. We actually listened to this the very first episode of the Digital Homestead course, because this very much applies to Bitcoin. It's the exact same thing. And so there's a couple really good lines in here that I like. But this one's my favorite here. This one's my favorite here. So let me bring this up. And it's Jones MacArthur, who I believe is Hardy in this song. Jones MacArthur. So first of all, I love this line. When you pass on, what you going to pass down? So it's talking about like passing on the farm generation to generation. But this part right here says, I'm Jones MacArthur, and I tried like hell to teach my son why a man don't sell. Talking about land, the farm, or in this case, Bitcoin. But he came home from college seeing dollar signs, didn't want to go to work, just wanted me to die. Could you imagine a worse feeling like that as a parent, where you think that your children actually want you to die so that they can have some of what you've accumulated? I can't imagine a worse feeling to feel than that. And I know this is a song, but there's real life examples of this. I'm sure everybody knows one or two people in their life who's gone through something like this, whether it's the kid or the parent or whatever it was. So my solution here, my suggestion, my idea basically allows you to transfer some of your wealth down to your children while you're still here. And they can learn about Bitcoin. They can hold that Bitcoin privately. There's just so many positive things to that idea. So anyways, I think I'm going to do a full episode on this because we're doing a couple different episodes on inheritance as part of the course. And I think I'm going to do one with this idea because I absolutely freaking love that. So yeah, if you want to, if you haven't joined yet, honestly, this course is freaking good. And if you're serious about Bitcoin, you want to make sure that you have that Bitcoin in a decade or 2 decades or 100 years from now. If you want to make sure that you as the first generation Bitcoiner, the steward of this Bitcoin, it's not yours. You're just protecting it until you're gone. It's your family's. And it's not an accident who keeps their Bitcoin, who loses their Bitcoin. It's not an accident. There's no luck involved. There's very strategic processes and knowledge that you must obtain in order to ensure that your family keeps that Bitcoin. And you're not the first generation Bitcoiner that F's it all up. So the course that we're doing in the Visionaries community is called the Digital Homestead course. It looks at Bitcoin as if it's farmland. And we go through the privacy implications, the buying, the storing, the private keys, the inheritance, the UTXOs, everything around that. And most importantly, the mindset, the proper mindset that you need to have as the first generation Bitcoiner. So we've had a lot of people joining this community in the last couple of days, but we're going to do the 4th episode on Tuesday, and we're going to be doing this course for the whole year. So you can basically take this whole course. I'd say it's thousands of dollars worth of value, maybe even more than that. You can do the whole course if you're willing to show up every week or at least watch the recordings every week for $200. $200. And you get the whole community. You get part of the private group chat. You get live sessions where you can hop on and ask questions. I don't think you'll ever find a better value than that if you are serious about Bitcoin. So it's school.com/88sats. Very easy to find. I should get a QR code for it, but you can type that, I think, if you want to join. What do we have in there now? We went from 160 members like 3 weeks ago, and now we have 322. 322. And man, you spend some time in this community, you're going to see what all the buzz is about. It is a magical place, and you get to watch the Digital Homestead course. So check it out. I encourage you. And again, I'm so convinced and certain that there's far more value that you're going to receive than what you're going to pay to be in there. That if you don't like it, you don't get what you think you were expecting. 100% Sats back guarantee. Love that. Sats back guarantee. So even if you paid in Fiat and you said, Jor, this course sucks, I want my money back, I'll send it back in Bitcoin. It's a huge disconnect there between what you're paying to be part of it, the value that you're paying, and the value that you're receiving. So that's why I say 100% Sats back guarantee. How about that inheritance idea, though? Oh. Let's get back to the chat. Oh, yeah, we're an hour and 20 minutes into it today. I'm freaking hot. I'm hot. Feeling hot. Man, SEC pool again here. Jenny says, Jerry, my favorite Santa hater. You know, I actually spent quite a bit of my childhood. I'm the oldest sibling. So I actually spent a lot of my childhood thinking that Santa was real. And there's nothing quite like that. You know, it's hard. It's hard to take that away from a kid. So I feel for Jerry. But I mean, you can still believe. Like even as a 30, I don't even know how old I am now, but it doesn't matter. But you can still kind of have that love, that joy, even if you know that it's not like a real person. Because at some point in your life, you start doing the math. You're like, okay, there's Santa Claus, there's these reindeers, there's about 2 billion homes on the planet. For him to travel this far, it would probably take him 3 million years to do that. So at some point you start doing the math, but that still doesn't mean that you can't believe in what it represents. You know what I mean? Again, like even as a 30-some-year-old, I still believe in Santa. You don't have to like actually believe that there's a guy, but you know what I mean. Arnie's back. This might be the greatest show of all time. Too soon to say. Somebody created an invoice for 1 sat. Who the heck was that? We got 500. Somebody sent in. I don't know who that was from. 500. That's what they said. But they put 500 hunted. It should have been I think it should have just been 500, not 500 hunted. So thanks to whoever sent that. We got a 909. Was that Scotty Boy? Seems like a Scotty Boy. We got a shot of espresso here. Says, good morning, Jor. Listening in the background. Super busy day at work. Kind regards, Praetorian. Cheers, brother. Thank you, Praetorian. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind on everything today, but, you know, we're just having a good time. It's Friday. We're just having a good time here. Somebody sent in 3690 and said, love that tune. I'm going to guess that was our guy, Plural or J-Dog. Who was that from? 3690. Maybe Matt. He likes the 369s. Maybe Matt FRL. But I'm going to guess that was Plural. So thank you. And one more here. Looks like the D showed up. The D in DCA. Hey, by the way, speaking of C, Cypher, I don't know if you're watching the show today. I got to message you. Or maybe not. Maybe I just have to check into it. But I sent Cypher a hoodie. And I sent him the shipping confirmation. But I don't know if I ever sent him an amount for it. So that's probably on me if I didn't. I'm infamous for sending out products before somebody pays for them. I'm just I just have too much trust in people. I'm very naive. Very naive. But at least I admit it. Okay, this was only frickin' 45 minutes ago. But anyways, see what people say. Hotter than camel's balls. I like that one. Bitcoin Education says, good morning, sir. I'm a big fan of your community. Smart guys. There you go. A live testimonial from the chat. It absolutely is going to be the best and the biggest community in Bitcoin. And it's going to be much more than that too. Like that's why I didn't put Bitcoin in the title, because I know it's going to evolve into something much bigger than that. I know that. Hotter than hell. That's a good one. Jerry says, thank you, Robert, for turning me into a redneck. There you go, Jerry. Alex is here, or Forlex is here. Sorry. Hotter than Scotty. Oh, we got some good ones here. Wow, these are good. These are freaking good. Oh my God. I'm so happy I asked this question. I'm so happy I asked this question. So I'm not going to say these, but I'm going to put them on screen. So this is a good one, actually. Hotter than peak Audrey Hepburn. That's a good one. We also got hotter than a nun in a cucumber patch. Ginger, a little bit of a twist to what we said. Hotter than that. I like this one, though. Hotter than a hoochie coochie. That sounds like Alan Jackson. That sounds like AJ. Hot as fish grease. That's a shout out to Jerry. Hot as fish grease. And I like this one. Midwest Picker. He says, hotter than 2 rats effing in a wool sock. I think that's my my favorite one. Hotter than 2 rats effing in a wool sock. VHF said, I don't know about hotter than, but I like the sayings hornier than a 3-peckered billy goat and finer than a frog's hair. Wow. I like that. I like those ones too, actually. I should write these ones down. Hornier than a 3-peckered billy goat. Man, there's so many good sayings like that. I don't know where people come up with them or how they get passed down, but a 3-peckered billy. And I like this other one here too. Finer than a frog's hair. And what was the other one from Midwest Picker? Hotter than 2 rats. 2 rats effing in a wool sock. That's very well thought out. That's very well thought out. Any update on the old guy that we had to work at 88 we donated sats for? I think, well, last time I spoke with Jake, he still got them. So we're kind of relying on Scotty for a direction of that because he had the biggest part of that. So Scotty, if you have any ideas, let us know. Jake still got them though. Just a little history from a perspective of wild natives. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Did you hear Bitcoin Ben has been scamming people? Sad to see. Bitcoin Ben might be going to prison for a long time. I highly doubt that. I haven't seen or heard anything, though. I think he's, from what I understand anyways, I don't want to speak for him or on his behalf, but I think that he's just taken a little bit of time off. I think he had a bit of a rough patch, although you might have more information than I have. I don't know. Plebinator, if you got an actual source or like, not source, but like, tell me where you heard that information from and how legit it is, or are you just kind of assuming things? Because I'm kind of interested. Robert says, so when you're hungry, you drink beer. Love it. Molson's. Haven't had one of those in a long time. Molson does have great beer. If you ever want to have a good beer, Molson Canadian is a beer. You have something like a Bud Light. It's just freaking water. It's water with calories and freaking wheat. But the Molson Canadian, that tastes like a beer, man. Beer definitely hits different on an empty stomach. Yeah, and I also forgot that I did a shot of Fireball. There's 36 degrees. 36 degrees. Hot. And it's a little bit different hot here too because it's freaking humid. So anyways, the group behind us sent a shot back to us, and they actually sent it for a specific guy in our group, and he didn't want to do it. He's like, I'm not doing it because 36 degrees, Fireball. And so he's like, I'm not doing it. So he just basically gave it back to the server or the beer cart girl. And I was like, well, we can't just waste the shot. So I took it. But yeah. Hey, there's Bit Billy right there over on Rumble. Love to see that. Let's get Bit Billy's message back up here. If people have joined, they've joined. If not, sucks to be them. School.com/88 sats. Get in there while you can. Shani boy is here. Look at that. Good morning, Shani. Good to see you, my friend. BitBilly says, spot on, Jor. Love your neighbor till it hurts is a Jim Morrison quote. And I took it exactly as you described. Jor, you're the best. Love y'all. Great community. Cheers, brother. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. And thank you for the great frickin' quote there. You realize Jen will have control of that banner. Yes, Jen will definitely have control of that banner sometime. That's part of it, though. Give me something to believe in. Bon Jovi. Bitcoin is that something. Something. Give me something to believe in. Bon Jovi. Bitcoin is that something. Amen. Bean says, loving the Friday Jesus hopeful energy. Thanks, BitBilly. A frickin' men to that. Look at this. Sats and sunsets. Will he get the hat trick today as well? Oh, this is a good frickin' tune here, too. Sats and sunsets. Will he get the hattie? We'll see. One Membian. Who was the recipient? BitBilly. Well deserved, BitBilly. Says thank you. Heartbreaker. This is a good tune. I like this one. I was absolutely, when you hear a new album, there's no better place to listen to that new album than on the highway at night. I would challenge you from the depths of my soul to find a better way to listen to a new album of like your favorite artist than driving at night. As long as your car has a good sound system. Oh my God, was I rocking last night. I was buzzing when I got home. But still have to pay attention to the road because there's a lot of wildlife out here. Okay, what do we got here? 3 cents 3 says, while Matthew Crater, Bitcoin mechanic, is fighting for the future of Bitcoin, this clown has created a perfect picture of Bitcoin in his head when nothing has to be done, so nothing can stop Bitcoin. Cool comment there. I think Jorah's running knots. That's better than just saying it. Proof of work. I am running knots because I don't want bullshit on the chain. That's really all there is to it. I don't think we need to do anything other than that. Do we? Haven't really got a great answer for that from anybody. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like a real good move to me to force through a soft fork right now. It doesn't seem like a good move to me. So I probably lost a lot of subscribers and a lot of people, for some reason, people like attach their whole identity to like BIP 110. And I apologize because there's actually been some people who wanted to join the Visionaries community and they have like BIP 110 in their profile. Like that's what describes them is BIP 110. I'm like, no, thanks. We're not aligned here. Not that I disagree with it. It's like you don't need to turn a Bitcoin software into your whole identity. And there's actually somebody last week on the channel, a guy who's been around for a long time. He's like, we were going back and forth or something. He said something like, I'm unsubscribing. I think it's because I said, do you understand the irony here? Like they're spamming all these different comments and live chats with BIP 110 stuff. It's spam. I said, do you understand the irony here? You're spamming my channel about getting rid of spam. It's like the Hangover where you're trying to like the Hangover meme where he's looking at all the numbers. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I think what Bitcoin Core did was all equally fucking stupid. Way more stupid, actually. Bitcoin Core, the fact that they put that through when nobody wanted it, that was very stupid. That's why I decided to run knots. I don't think Bitcoin needs to do a soft fork right now. I don't think that they do. So I'm entitled to my opinion. And until somebody can show me a very good reason why we need this to get pushed through, then that's where I sit. And I don't give a shit if we lose people. Like if that's your whole identity as a Bitcoin software or an implementation, then sorry. That ain't me. That ain't me. But Uncle Jimmy, look at this. Says, good morning, Jork. Keep up the good work. Cheers, Uncle Jimmy. He says, never underestimate human convergence. People will use Bitcoin instead of the dollar. What the hell was that, Arn? People will use Bitcoin instead of the dollar, just like how we drive cars instead of ride horses. Exactly. Exactly. That's very good big picture thinking. That's very good big picture thinking. I approve this message. My name is Jor, and I approve this message. Lauren says, love the new hat. Me too. It's not really new. It's kind of newish, but I'm a big fan. And it's Maple Bitcoin Friday today. Claude committed suicide. Did he? I didn't. Yeah, I don't know about that. I saw kind of a couple different reports because somebody said that it was an unexpected death. Somebody said it was a heart attack. And then somebody at the table later said that he committed suicide. But I would probably just wait until we got more information before we jump to any conclusions. But who knows? Maybe he did. Maybe he did. We're here to change the world through Bitcoin. A frickin' men to that. Look at this. Bid Billy says, I was blessed with an incredible career that allotted me the opportunity to buy Bitcoin early, but I keep stacking. What a beauty. What a beauty. Sats and Sunsets, according to Binance, the majority of Bitcoiners are INTJ, 30%, 36%. Really? Interesting. Sato says, reason to be in Bitcoin. Number one, to reclaim financial sovereignty. Bingo. That is number one. That is number one. Number two, to protect your savings from inflation. Also pretty important. To opt out of the broken fiat system. I would say that, yeah. Yep, I like those ones. Oh, and four, we got four. To aspire to a better future. Love this comment here from Buck52. The richest guy I know just divorced his wife, sits alone in his waterfront mansion. His kids won't talk to him. He is not wealthy. Sharon B says, my kids don't understand or want anything to do with Bitcoin. Well, give it time. Give it time. Give it time. But yes, Sato, number 5 is to be free. A frickin' men to that. Bid Billy, what's some of your stories? How did you end up here? Bid Billy wants to know in the chat. Bid Billy wants to know how you got here. How did you arrive here? Jerry says, paying inheritance early. That's a great idea, Jor. I think so too, man. I think that's going to be, I think there's something there. I've had some ideas before, but I think that this one will actually be one of the ones that spreads. Because it makes a lot of sense. And just like this comment up here. Oh, I missed one of BitBilly's here. That one didn't show up before. But just like this comment here, never underestimate human convergence. People will use Bitcoin instead of the dollar, just like how we drive cars instead of ride horses. So when you have like an idea that makes a lot of sense to people, then it just works. Like it just happens over time. Like it just spreads. It's the same as like when you have a good product or service. It's like you don't need a bunch of marketing because people talk, people communicate. If you're solving a problem that people have and you're doing a very good job at it, then you don't have to market. You don't have to promote. It's just word spreads. So I think that idea is going to spread. But Bid Billy said, I'd like to think I'm here at this point in my life to help people where I can. I'm old. You're not old. What the hell are you talking about? You're old. But I like being helped as well because I recognize I don't have all the answers. And that's a sign of an intelligent man right there. What the hell are you talking about, old, Bid Billy? Old. You're not that much older than me, and I do not consider myself to be old. I'm a freaking kid still. I'm a kid. Hunter is what? No, Hunter's not a twat. Hunter kept the farm. Hunter kept the farm. Where was that frickin' thing? Hunter kept the farm. He heard a whisper through the pines. He heard his great grandpa. Look at this. He didn't sell. He didn't sell. He said, I'm Hunter MacArthur and the deal looks good. In 18 months, this will be a neighborhood. I got $1 million line I can sign my name on, but there's a whisper in the pines that's telling me don't. So Hunter, not a twat. He wanted to sign it. He had $1 million if he signed his name to sell the land or sell the farm. And this is probably more like $10 million now or $20 million. But he kept the farm. He kept it. So now there's going to be a Hunter Jr. maybe. We are either retards or geniuses. Keeps falling, but I keep buying. You know, I was at original. I better not give away too much info here. I was at an establishment last night, and they had a DJ playing randomly on the patio. But guess what song they played? Guess what song they played? The Black Eyed Peas. You remember that song? It used to be called "Let's Get Retarded," and then it changed to "Let's Get It Started" when they got a bunch of when we were in the midst of cancel culture. But they were playing the original song last night, Let's Get Retarded. Swear to God. Swear to God. So if you're ever thinking about shitting on Canada, you know. We're not all idiots. Kachuk says that sounds like allowance, but it's a pretty good idea. No. I mean, I feel like allowance is meant to like give your kids something to spend. Like I would give my kids an allowance in fiat. You know what I mean? Because like an allowance to me is money that you spend. Because when you're a kid, you don't make money. You're not an income producer unless your name's Flipper. But the other part of it is that's an allowance. That's like you're spending money. You want that to be in fiat. Maybe you send them some USDT in a couple of years too. Swap between Lightning, USDT. But the Bitcoin is your inheritance, not an allowance. It's different. Sharon B says, I have no Bitcoin, but I'm here for the freedom Bitcoin gives you. I'm tired of being the government's bitch and not having any money to live. A frickin' man, Sharon B. Sharon B, I'm not sure I believe you. I'm not sure I believe you that you don't have any Bitcoins, but that's a way to approach it. Already did lose over 200K Bitcoins in 2014. Poof, gone. Wow. Wiz Jimmy's. I love that name. That might be my favorite name, right up there with Stalsrow. The one thing I don't like about Rumble. Oh, never mind. What the hell am I talking about? I was going to say you can't have profile pics there, but yeah, you can. What am I talking about? What am I doing? Arn, what are we doing? But RD did lose over 200,000 Bitcoin. I'm thinking you mean like 200,000 Bitcoin, not $200,000 worth of Bitcoin. Wow. Man, there's going to be so much of that in the next couple of years. I know for a fact. There's going to be people who watched all the charts, worked their ass off, stacked as hard as they could, but they missed one important part of it, which is understanding the private key and understanding how to secure it properly. And there's going to be a lot of heartache. And it's sad. Look at this. Oh my heavens. Sats and sunsets. A purple one. I've never seen that before. A purple one. The hat trick. So we got 2 Satoshi hat tricks here today. We had one, well, actually 2 from yesterday too, Sats and Sunsets and Jenny. And they also got it again today. And that actually might be an important zap because today is May 29th and today is the last day for the Mighty Duck, the very first Mighty Duck. And it was a pretty close battle between Sats and Sunsets and Jenny. And this purple zap here, 69, nice. Might be the difference. I don't know. I'm going to count it up this weekend. But Sats and Sunsets, wow. 69er. A big 69er. Thank you, my friend. That's a hat trick. That's the Hattie. God, this is a good freaking song. We're back. We made it right through the album already. That's how long the stream's been. Oh, well. It's not like we have another stream starting in 2 hours from now. So with that in mind, I do need to get my shit together here. I do need to hit the road. Because, okay. Bit Billy says, there's so much I could say on this, but the box here doesn't allow it. Short answer, I don't do inheritance per se for my kids, but I have them taken care of big time. Nice. I have zero doubt about that. I do send Bitcoin to my kids' wallets every month. They're 11 and 12 and excited about Bitcoin. Love that. Bit Billy, I'm sure you are, but the thing that you should consider there is actually sending them sats through Lightning. So then the chain there is kind of broken. Or, it depends because there's probably tax implications of depending on the amounts. That's why I like doing it like weekly or daily because the amounts are so small that it's like, flying under the radar a little bit there. But if they receive it on Lightning, there's nobody that has record that they have that Bitcoin, which in my opinion is very important. Clip it, says Brandon. I don't know what that was. What was that from? Kachok says, that's me, 500. There it is. Thank you, Kachok. Appreciate that, man. Have to switch to another meeting. Have a nice day. Cheers, buddy. Wiz says, I did something really stupid and lost the flash drive after someone entered my house unapproved and stressed out. Jesus. Oh, plural. Okay, says, I didn't say anything today yet. So who is that from then? Who is that from? But Duncan, I started talking about Duncan and I forgot to finish it. Duncan sent in the D for DCA today, and look at this. We're over 4,000 again today. 4,075. Thank you, Duncan. Frickin' A. Those coffees are nice when the price is down. 4,075. Cheers, buddy. Micah says, hiya, just joining. Happy Friday. Cheers, Micah. Yeah, I'm going to be... the two rats one is crazy. That one's good. Sin said, morning all. Joy, that zap was for me, but I fat fingered it a bit. So it was a Texas size plus 10. There it is. An 18 and a 45. That's it seems like an intentional fat finger there. That's Sin's Friday zap. 18 and a 45 from the great state of Texas. God bless Texas. Look at this. Wiz got some cool info here. I don't know. I'm liking this dude. I don't know where Wiz Jimmy's came from, but I'm a fan. He says, it is unsafe to do cryptocurrency on an Android. Use Linux. I met Bon Jovi and generated an idea to John to build Soul Kitchen in LA. This guy's either completely full of shit or he's a pretty interesting fella. I'm actually going to side on the former, the latter. Would it be the latter or the former? The second part, the thing that he's a very interesting guy. I don't think he's making this up. Doesn't seem like a real, See, it seems like a real random thing to make up. So welcome to the chat, Wiz. Love the name. Love the comments here. Ian E says, hi, Jor and gang. Good morning, Ian E. Great to see you, man. Hope you're having a great Friday today. And hopefully there's a lot of people buying some beans over there from you. That sounds good. Maybe something like a monthly DCA inheritance to your kids. Yeah, heck yeah. Imagine becoming the very thing that you hate. Right? That's what I mean. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. Get a wallet and join a node at bitcoin.org. Government can control your phone, so use Linux. Does Linux have phones, though? I thought that was Graphene Whiz. Just open a wallet in Bitcoin for only $25. Save up copper and silver. Why would you tell your kids about Bitcoin? What do you mean? I mean, I guess everybody's different. Every family is different. But like I said, I'm pretty sure most Bitcoiners are in Bitcoin for their kids. So you probably want to teach them how to use it, how to think about it, to never sell. Like John MacArthur says. No, so that was Jones MacArthur. Jones. Kachuk said, my story, bank stole my money and won't return it. Realized my money wasn't my money if it's in the bank. Look at this guy. Wiz says, I'm still trying to design a biodiesel bicycle engineer to power a bike. Micah says, I'm old. What are you guys talking about? You're not freaking old, neither of you two. Freaking ding-dongs. You guys are probably millennials / Gen X. That's not old at all. You have many, 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 many moons left. Many freaking moons. Kachuk says, I'm Gen Z, so it wasn't even a financial crisis when it happened, and I'm not from the US. I like the retard maxim mindset. Thinking too much is dumb. A frickin' men to that. Saster says, is private key the passphrase plus the seed phrase plus passphrase? No, the private key is like your 12 words. It's the 12 words is a version of it, but there's the private key is, I forget how many bits it is, but the private key is like the key. If you got the wallet. So that's a good question, because actually if you had let's walk through this real quick, because I mean, this is a big part of the course. If you're somebody who like is asking questions like this, then I would highly, 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 highly suggest you join the course, because this is kind of like the whole thing. Because you have to understand this. Because if you don't understand this, then your Bitcoin's not going to be your Bitcoin for very long. It's just not. So let's say you generated a private key, and you can do it. You can do that many different ways. You can use a website. You can use a cold card. You can do whatever you want. You can randomly generate a private key, which is 12 words. If you had a so with that 12 words, it would come with a private key and a public key, right? A key pair based on your seed phrase. If you add a passphrase to that creates a brand new private key and a brand new key pair. Again, and you want to have yourself a passphrase, because if you have a passphrase, then you can geographically disperse your Bitcoin. Without a passphrase, you can't. You can't do it. Well, unless you leave your device out in the wild, which you could do, I guess, technically. But these are the kind of things that you need to think about. And I feel like a large percentage of Bitcoiners don't really understand what I'm saying here. So this is kind of like the whole focus of the course, where we learn this stuff, and then we slowly evolve to a passphrase, and then we eventually evolve to a multi-sig. And it's very, very critical. It's not important. It's critical information to have. So consider, man, if you're serious about Bitcoin, it'll be the best $200 that you ever spend in your life. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. It's a low investment money-wise, but it's a higher investment time-wise, because we're going to be doing this every week for the rest of the year. But you have to understand it, because if you don't understand it, you're not going to hold that Bitcoin for very long. You're just not. You're going to either leak it somehow. You're going to leave it in a place that it shouldn't be. You're going to forget it. You're going to forget your passphrase. You're going to forget your PIN code. There's just so many things. And so the financial investment of this is very low. It's $200 for the whole year, for the whole course. but the time investment is a little bit higher. So if you are somebody who like likes to do things yourself and like learn and actually understand what you're doing, then highly recommend joining the course with us. I know I say it a lot, but man, I just can't understate how freaking important it is, because it really does not matter how many sats you have today. It doesn't. If you don't know what you're doing, how to protect them, they're only going to be yours for a very short period of time. And then you're going to wake up one day, they're going to be gone. You're going to say, what the fuck happened here? And all that time, all that energy, all that work that you did to earn that value, but also to understand why you should be holding Bitcoin, gone, poof. So don't wait for that to happen. You can always, like the Cody Johnson song goes, you can always fix your Bitcoin security. You can always update. You can always secure your Satoshis till you can't. Till either something happens to you or somebody takes them. So you can always do it. You can always procrastinate. You can always wait another month or two till you think that you're ready, that you have some time. You can always do that till you can't. So spend the next 7 months with us. Learn what you're doing with your Bitcoin. It's the only thing that matters, because if you don't have that, then you're building on very shaky foundation, and it's going to blow away. It's going to be gone. Praetorian says, I found myself in Bitcoin and the visionaries through curiosity. I didn't fully understand it at first. I stayed because I realized it was more than information. It was responsibility, learning, and growth. Live testimonial there on the show. Live testimonial. Perfect timing. Appreciate you, Praetorian. You know that. You know that. Make copies and secure it correctly. Make paper copy keys too. Bitcoin is built to hodl. It's different. If a different bank shuts off your speech, you use Bitcoin. Yeah, like Bitcoin is not freedom, but Bitcoin in self-custody and secured properly is freedom. Bitcoin's not. Because a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say that. People's version of Bitcoin is not freedom. If you got Bitcoin on an exchange or an ETF or through strategy, that's not freedom at all. You're just a fan in the arena. You're just a fan in the stands cheering on Bitcoin. Praetorian says, would everyone take a quick second and like the stream? Good call, buddy. We got 55 people over there right now. 27 thumbs ups, 1 thumbs down. Nice. 1 thumbs down. And we got a couple new followers today. Nice. We're almost at 500 on Rumble. Never thought that would have happened. Got to shoot. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Duncan. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for the D today. Kachuk says, my seed phrase, bacon 12 times. If you know, you know. We do know. We are followers of Gigi. Okay. I got to get the hell out of here, my friends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to update the spreadsheet this weekend. I'm going away, but I'll find some time to do it, maybe on Sunday. But I'm going to update it, and we're going to announce the Mighty Duck. And the Mighty Duck is going to get to choose their prize. Going to have a couple different options. And I would say that there's a pretty close race between 2 individuals here, which are Jenny Legendary and Sats and Sunsets. And it's based on many metrics: support, consistency, MOBs, help, like Sats and Sunsets has been doing over in school, helping the channel, helping the community, helping me out. But anyways, Arnie and I are going to say goodbye for the week. So again, big thank you here today. Big thank you to Letha, to Mark, to Jenny. You know, we didn't even do the mempool. Two hours in, we didn't even do the mempool. I had it pulled up. Should we do it? Should we do it, Arn? Okay, we'll do it real quick. The block height today is the time in Bitcoin, 951,584. We got to do it. Easy thing to do would be to leave right now and start getting our shit together for the day and the weekend. But I love you guys, and we can't miss this. This is an important part of the show because layer 1 Bitcoin is the foundation of what we're building here. So this is the time in Bitcoin, the time chain, 951,584. 951,584 blocks have been mined since that very historic day back in 2009, January 3rd, 2009. I really believe that we're going to look back on that day in history, and it'll take some time. It's not going to be like next year, next decade, or maybe even 100 years from now. But I do believe that we will reset the calendar. I do. I really believe that we are going to reset the calendar starting on January 3rd, 2009, which means that we're living in the year 17 right now. This is year 17. This isn't 2026. This is year 17. Because everything before that day, everything that happened before that day cannot be verified. We have no way of verifying it. But starting on January 3rd, we have a ledger that cannot be corrupted, that is immutable, that will be here for probably thousands of years and beyond that, hopefully. And we're here at the beginning of that. You understand how fucking cool that is? And, you know, we could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. Could be. But I'd still rather spend my life being hopeful and being optimistic and working towards the future that I want to have. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to speak it into existence. I really believe that, though. I really believe that we are in the year 17 now, not 2026. We're in year 17. And ever since that day, there's been 951,584 blocks. Foundry was the winner of the last two. Can they hit the turkey? Who knows? We probably won't be around to see it. But we did have a new difficulty adjustment here, and we had another upwards adjustment, which is a very, very strong signal for the Bitcoin network. So with the last two difficulty adjustments have both been upwards. And looks like we're pretty much right on track right now. So we got 13 days or approximately 2,000 more blocks until the next difficulty adjustment. And we're not going to stop there. We're going to do the time chain as well, where we are in the epoch V, epoch number 5, where the block subsidy is 3.125 Bitcoin per block. The total supply of Bitcoin is 20.03 million Bitcoin, 0.97 million or 970,000 approximately Bitcoin left to be mined. And everything else is going to have to come from somebody else, from one of us. And those Satoshis are going to be very much in demand in the future. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind about that. Foundry was the winner. They got the subsidy. They got the transaction fees for the total reward of 3.18 Bitcoin. Wow, nice one. So they got 6 million sats for their transaction fees there. Nice work, Foundry. And the exchange rate today, you got $1, $1 US, 1 unit of trash, 1 unit of bullshit, 1 unit of illusion. The Federal Reserve note. You got one of these kicking around? You can convert that into 1,353 Satoshis, 1,353 units of freedom, units of sovereignty, units of energy. So in other words, you can trade 1 unit of the worst money in human history. The FERN, the Federal Reserve note. You can trade 1 of those units for 1,354 units of the best money in human history. It's a pretty good trade. It's a pretty good trade. Arnie and I call that one the deal of a lifetime. And we are blessed. We are very fortunate and lucky to be here today, not to be sitting where we are, but to be alive right now. And man, think about a couple 100 years from now when all the Bitcoin's been mined and you can pay your rent or your monthly expenses with 5 Satoshis, or less. Think about how much envy those people are going to have for the people like us who are here right now to take advantage of that. It's incredible. It's absolutely freaking incredible. And I think a lot of people take it for granted. I truly do. 17 AS. Should we do a raid? Okay, let's do a raid, Praetorian. Good call, buddy. Good call. 529.17 AS. Anno Satoshi. I think there's something there. Jenny with a really good question. She said, what happens to the block fees when there are no more blocks to be mined? The blocks won't stop. That's a really good question, Jenny. The blocks won't stop. Like, it's not like the block height where the last Satoshi is mined, the blockchain ends. That's really where it just begins, honestly. Again, when you're thinking that far in the future, looking back, that's really when Bitcoin begins, is when all the Bitcoin have been distributed. So the blocks will still keep coming in. There's just going to be no subsidy attached to it anymore, right? That's a subsidy right here. So every time there's a new block mined, the reward goes to the miner. So in this case, Foundry USA, they solved the equation and they mined the block. They designed the block template and they got paid. So in this case right now, because we're still in Epoch V, they got the block subsidy of 3.125 Bitcoin. So every epoch that gets cut in half again. So we started at 50 in Epoch 1. We went to 25 in Epoch 2. We went to 12.5 in Epoch 3. We went to 6.25 in Epoch 4. Now we're at 3.125 in Epoch 5. And that will just keep getting cut in half forever. I think most people understand that. But when that ends, because eventually that runs out at 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis, that runs out. So what happens at that point is that the blocks still keep coming in. There's still people mining. All that energy is still being allocated to the Bitcoin network. But think about the value of those Satoshis at that time, right? If we're mining blocks for like a couple Satoshis, think about what the value of those Satoshis are going to be in terms of purchasing power. So at that point, this ends. In 2140, this ends. This is out because no more Bitcoin are being created. This is how new Bitcoin are created, this block subsidy. Every block, you can go into it, and we'll do it in a second, but you can go in and see the Coinbase transaction there. So that transaction gets sent to Foundry USA. It includes a subsidy plus the transaction fees. So if you want to send a transaction on the Bitcoin Layer 1 network, you have to include a transaction fee. Otherwise, your transaction won't be put into a block. And all the blocks, so this is a block right here, 951584. All the blocks just have a bunch of data, a bunch of transactions. And so if you want to send a transaction on Layer 1, you have to include a fee with it. And so all the fees from all the transactions that get put into that block, they go to the miner as well. So the miners get two parts of this, the fixed amount subsidy and the variable amount, which changes every block because there's more transactions or less transactions, more demand, less demand, higher fees, less fees. This is variable. So they get the total reward. So in 2140, this subsidy is gone. They just get all the transaction fees. That's what the miners will be working for at that point. The blocks will continue forever, or indefinitely, I should say, indefinitely. But they'll keep going. The network will carry on. It just won't have the block subsidy attached to it here. It'll just be the transaction fees. So that will be the incentives for miners to continue mining. And if you think about it again, how valuable those sats are going to be at that time, like think about this. If they're mining, if the block subsidy, this part, is like 1 sat per block or whatever it is, it might be a little bit more than that, but it's not much. So if the block subsidy is 1 sat per block and the transaction fees let's say that there's 3,000, 4,000 transactions in there. Like if we look at these blocks, that's what these blocks are. That's every block is just a bunch of transactions here. So this one had 3,988. So there's kind of two parts that you want to think about here is that the 3,988, that's the number of transactions, but think about how much / little it's going to cost to send Bitcoin in the future. Like it might cost 1 sat per transaction to send Bitcoin, something like that. Maybe even less. Maybe it'll cost like 10 microsats. But think about how much those are going to be worth in terms of purchasing power. So it's going to be very expensive at that point. But for the people who are here in 2026 and can somehow keep that Bitcoin in their family for that long, it's going to cost, like it's the variance there is going to be massive. So each block is just a bunch of transactions. You can scroll down, you can audit every one yourself. And this is the Coinbase transaction that we were talking about there. So let's go to the one that we were looking at. This was Foundry. So there's the Coinbase transaction right here. The newly generated Bitcoin has nothing to do with the company Coinbase, Coinbase. And that's their reward. So they get that sent to their wallet, 3.18 Bitcoin. So that's the subsidy plus the transaction fees. But after the subsidies end, once the Bitcoin have all been generated, it's only the transaction fees there. So that's a really good question there, Jenny. No subsidies, just transaction fees. Exactly. But it doesn't end. Again, I think that's where really everything begins. And if you think we're early, then think about it that way. Then you understand how early we are. So hopefully that made sense, Jenny. Oh, we got a Zapta report here to Arnie Boy, to the Rescue Dog Fund. 4321. So that looks like a Nico. Thank you, Nico. Said woof woof, Arnie. And look at this big one from from Sweat and Smiling Together. Thank God I saw this. Sweat and Smiling Together sent a King Zap. A King Zap. So Adam and Lori sent a King Zap, and they had a message with it. They said, I'll be doing 500 burpees tomorrow morning. This is from Adam. Adam's doing 500 burpees tomorrow morning. And so you can find that. I'm going to share that for Adam here. We also got to do a raid, Praetorian. We got a lot to do here, man. Oh, and Lucky got one too. Thank you, Nico. Thank you. One for Arnie, one for Lucky. Thank you, Nico. Thank you, Jenny. Oh, yeah, what was I doing here? Stay on track, Jor. Keep it together. Pull it together, man. Pull it together here. Oh, Adam. Sweat and Smiling Together. Adam's doing 500 burpees tomorrow. We should show up and give him some love. We should show up tomorrow. What time is that at, Adam? Do you know? What time are you going to start it at? So here's Adam's channel, Sweat and Smiling Together. Make sure everybody, wow, he's got a good following over there. 364 subscribers. We can probably get that up today as the community, as Team Bitcoin. Sweat and Smiling Together. Let's get Adam some love over there tomorrow morning. And look at this, Jenny. Jenny bought a couple of Membies. She got one for Wiz and one for Sin. Jenny bought a Memby for Wiz and a Memby for Sin. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, so yes, thank you, Adam and Lori, and make sure everybody checks out Adam's burpees tomorrow. 500. Holy frick, man. 500? I don't know if I could do 5. Yeah, I probably could. I think that interested to hear, actually. Adam's been buying more Lactigo than anybody else. Adam's been enjoying the Lactigo based on his orders. So it must be working for him. Adam, I'll have more information on Lactigo maybe in the future. We don't got time, but a very active fella, Adam. And he said he's been buying a lot of Lactigo. So it obviously helps with his performance and his recovery. Otherwise, I don't think he'd be buying that much. So Lactigo, if you're somebody who's active or somebody who does like, laborious work, give Lactigo a shot. If you want some information, find a way to get a hold of me. I'll send you the link for it and try it out. There's been quite a few people in the community who have been using it and I think enjoying it, but nobody more than Adam. He's been buying it consistently. Okay, we got to do a raid here, Praetorian. Oh, Wiz just followed the channel. Welcome, Wiz. New subscriber. Love that. I enjoyed Wiz. I love the name Wiz. Okay, who should we raid today? Badlands? Are they around? I might actually go jump in the frickin' lake here before the maple stream. I'm frickin' cooking. We don't have AC here. And it's you guys are gonna think I'm nuts. It is 26 degrees right now. We have no AC, and I'm wearing a frickin' hoodie. I'm a creature of habit. Didn't even put 2 and 2 together. There's more people watching the Doge clock than there are this show. 44 people watching that, 43 watching ours. Anyways, okay. Who can we go jump into? You guys, who have we been watching? Mel K, is that who it was? Let's figure out how to do. Okay, here it is. Adam says 7 a.m. MST. I think that's Mountain Time, which would be 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, and 6 a.m. for the people on the West Coast, Pacific. Wow. So let's, Adam, make sure, please send I'm sure you will, but send a reminder to the Visionaries School and also to the Signal chat. Okay, let's go check out Mel K. Let's give Mel K some love today. So I need this. And okay, so again, big shout out today. Letha, I know I already did this, but we'll do it again. Letha, Mark, Jenny, Moravian, Maria, Jerry Loves Freedom, Praetorian, Sats and Sunsets, Duncan, Nico, Adam, Jenny. And a big shout out to our guy BitBilly who got the banner, the very first banner. So we'll do that again next week. I don't think we're going to do it every show because that'll be just too much. But we'll do it every week. So the biggest zap of the week will get their message displayed on Fat Zap Friday. And the cool thing about that is if somebody has it, let's say that Adam has it for going into Fat Zap Friday and he sent in his message, somebody would be able to bump his message Friday. I think that's what we're going to do. So big shout out to our guy BitBilly for being here for the love, the support, and a very good quote for the very first one. So let's go check out Mel K. Let's go over there together and see what Mel K is cooking. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Consider joining us for the Maple stream in about, hour and a half from now. Frick. Okay. So that's it. Thank you all. I love you all. And enjoy yourselves. We'll talk to you soon. Let's head over and see Mel K. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Raid confirmed. Liftoff imminent. Preparing for action. Raid starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adios, amigos.